Uh-oh, what's this? It's kind of funny, but genuinely, it's part of my routine now when I film a YouTube video to crack open a cold energy. Just something about it just gets me in the right mindset. Now, I don't know about you guys, but personally for myself, this year has started off just complete chaos. Life is moving like at 1,000 miles per hour right now, but honestly, it's a lot of really good things happening. There's just a lot going on professionally and personally, so I figured why not just kind of combine it all and kind of just make a life update video for you guys and kind of catch up, you know, just between me and you. I feel like it's been a minute for one of these types of videos. So sit back, relax, maybe crack open a cold one or maybe sip on some coffee and think of this almost as like kind of a podcast vibe. So the first thing I want to talk about is YouTube itself, and that's the fact that we just passed 25,000 subscribers. And actually, since I wrote down these notes to film this YouTube video, we're actually about to pass 27,000 today, which is just crazy. From a standpoint of myself, we've been making YouTube videos now for coming up on like 3 years, and this will be the first month ever that I gain over 1,000 subscribers within 30 days. And it's actually going to be closer to around 3,000 subscribers, which again is just a really cool milestone, especially for myself. You know, I take a lot of pride in my work and I know my content's really good. And obviously you guys always show me crazy amount of love and support on all of it, but it always feels a little bit rewarding when you see those numbers go up and you see that things are really kind of starting to click. Now, a lot of that growth has actually come from my last couple of YouTube videos. The most recent one was talking about my Leica Q2 camera, which has been absolutely amazing. I've loved that thing so far. And don't you worry, we're going to talk about that camera more here in a second because it kind of ties in with a few other things in this video. Now, the other video that is doing great right now is I dropped a video talking about how to grow on Instagram in 2023. And that is definitely the hottest video I have ever had on YouTube. I'm seeing real numbers. I'm seeing real growth. And I'm talking about my actual strategy. I'm not making stuff up, and it seems to be really resonating with people. And that for me is super exciting. If you haven't checked out either of those videos, I'll have them linked down in the description below. But yeah, YouTube is doing great right now and it's super exciting for me. But to tie in the Instagram part, we just passed, as of today, 61,000 followers. A couple months ago, we were below 40, like in the low 30s, to be honest. It's a big milestone. I think 50K on any platform is something to celebrate. And the fact that before I could even celebrate 50K, I was already reaching 60. So yeah, again, YouTube is doing great, but Instagram is on a literal rocket ship going to the moon right now. So another really cool thing that I'm really proud of is also all my new digital assets. So within the past month, I launched my brand new Lightroom preset pack as well as my overlay pack. And I'm telling you guys, the support on those have absolutely blown me away. And I am beyond thrilled with them. I personally use them every single day on all my content. All my photos, I use my Lightroom presets. All of my short form vertical content, I use my overlay pack. It is so cool and fulfilling for me to see other creators out there not only support my content by watching it, but then they want to download my digital assets, use them on their own content, and share it with the world. And that is one of the coolest things I have ever been part of. And it is cool to feel and see yourself actually make an impact on others. And this isn't supposed to be like a plug or me telling you to go download my digital assets. At this point, I think they really speak for themselves. But I just want to give kind of a quick shout out and a thank you because I'm sure some of you guys watching this right now have picked some of those up and it does not go unnoticed. Be sure to send me a DM or tag me in some of the content you use it on so I can personally say thank you and show some love on your content as well. Now, I actually want to talk about this right here for a second. Let's take a trip down memory lane real quick. So obviously we have a lot of new subscribers these days. About a year ago, I dropped a video talking about how I got my dream job. And I'm going to recap that for everyone here. As of right now, I'm filming this. It is mid-February 2023. So if we go back a year, January 1st of 2022, I actually signed a contract to become a ghost athlete. I was one of the first creative type athletes that they signed. And it was honestly a dream come true for me. This is a company I always wanted to work with, and that was honestly my exact angle, was to show these brands and companies that people use these products outside of just the fitness world. And my views aligned perfectly with this company's, and it just kind of was the perfect match. They had the same idea. I signed as being a creative athlete, and that was just kind of a match made in heaven. So that was January 1st. Me and one of the co-owners go way back. He saw that I got signed as an athlete. One thing led to another. The next thing I knew, I had a job offer to work for the actual company instead of being an athlete, and I was moving to Chicago within 6 weeks of signing to be an athlete. So from January 1st, I signed as an athlete. And then by, I think like February 14th, I was moving into my Chicago apartment here in Chicago, Illinois, where Ghost is actually based out of. The past year has honestly been a dream come true. It's been a lot of work, but it is exactly what I wanted it to be, if not more. But the reason I'm bringing up this story and kind of sharing all this is because as of a couple weeks ago, I actually got promoted to content director, which honestly, again, is a dream come true for me. This is honestly part of the reason why I wanted to move here. It's a true testament on hard work pays off, and it really is something I'm proud of and shows how much work I put in this industry in the past 10 years. And so that is honestly something to truly celebrate and something that I'm really proud of. And something I do want to say about that is you are only as good as the team around you. And the two other content guys, Holden and Dan, I will have their pages linked down in the description below. They are two of the best content creators in the entire game. And I would not be in the position I am without the two of them. And we truly are one team and one core unit. And I've never been surrounded by such inspiring creators on a daily basis, and I really do mean that. So huge shout out to them. I would not be where I'm at or doing what I am without them. But a really cool milestone for myself personally, and then also professionally, kind of notching up to the director level. And it's something that I'm truly, really proud of. Now that kind of brings me to that camera right there. Now, if you guys checked out my unboxing video on that, you kind of saw my first impressions of it, and I kind of alluded to me buying that camera for multiple reasons. Well, to be honest, a lot of things I talked about in this very video is why I decided to purchase that camera. I mean, it is called the Leica Q Ghost Edition. But this has been a very monumental year of my life. I don't think I've ever put in this amount of hours into my craft, whether it be professionally or personally, seeing all these different things click at a similar time on all my social platforms. And I feel like I'm really honing in on finding who I am as a creative. I've never been this proud of my work, and I've definitely never been this confident in my work. And that really is only because I've put in more reps than I ever have before. If you take a look at all of my platforms together, we're talking in the past year, hundreds of pieces of content I have put out. Photos, videos, you name it, I've probably tried it. And that's the only reason I'm at where I am right now. Buying a Leica has always been a dream of mine ever since I got into the creative field and I figured out what that brand was and what they're all about. Now I am extremely loyal to Sony, and I'm filming on the Sony FX3 right now, but there's just something about the Leica brand and the Leica cameras that I have always been attracted to ever since I kind of discovered them early on in my photography career. I knew I eventually was going to get one. It was just the matter of the right time. And honestly, just all these different things happening at a similar time frame, I kind of wanted something to kind of mark this milestone and just kind of notch this time and place. I just want to remember this moment, this confidence, this inspiration, this motivation, this fulfillment in what I do, both personally and professionally. And these are all just personal things right now, not even mentioning all the love and support I get from my family, my girlfriend, friends, so on and so forth. So the reason I wanted to make this video and the reason I kind of wanted to just sit down and hit record is because I think anyone who does this line of work, especially if you're doing content for yourself personally, you are spending an absurd amount of hours, usually sitting in a room, a lot of times by yourself, staring at a screen, hoping that whatever you're doing is good enough, and kind of actually making that voice in your head be quiet, asking, is this worth your time? A lot of times we're just pushing through, doing the best we can, and hoping that it all kind of works out at the end. And I'm not saying I'm at the final stage and I haven't made it by any means, but for the first time in a very long time, it kind of feels like everything I'm touching right now is clicking. And I want to share that message because if you are someone out there struggling or wondering why you're doing what you're doing, just know that I was there in that place as well. But this is my message to you with my personal proof that hard work does pay off. And if you're thinking about quitting or slowing down, just don't do it. Keep at it. Keep going strong. Keep believing in yourself when even though it seems like maybe other people aren't. And I'm telling you, this stuff will pay off and it will be worth it in the long run. All it takes is that one piece of content to blow up. But again, if you don't have that body of work to show, why would anyone want to stick around anyways? I appreciate each and every single one of you that have taken the time to support any of my content. It really does mean the world to me. I do all this stuff in my free time, all this stuff for fun. It is truly a passion project for me, and I have never felt this type of fulfillment in my entire life. So seriously, thank you guys. And I'm telling you, just keep going at it and keep pushing. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah. and I don't want to spoil it yet, and I don't think I'm allowed to, but the end of March, one of the coolest things ever for me is going to be happening. So stay tuned. That's going to be sick.